Hello! In today's session, we are going to learn about the basic structure of the ribbon. You got a glimpse of the ribbon in the introduction section. Do you remember it? Well, ribbon is the main location for the wide variety of Excel commands. It is very easy to use interface that has replaced the traditional menus and toolbars from Excel 2007 onwards. Based on the functionality, the Excel commands have been categorized into tabs, and then each tab, the commands are further arranged into groups. Let's take the Home tab. Most commonly used commands have been placed in the Home tab. So here you see the group font, all the text formatting options related to type, size, color, highlight have been put together. Similarly, in the group alignment, icons of commands for setting horizontal as well as vertical alignment, orientation of text at various degrees, and merging, wrapping functionalities have been put together, and so on in the remaining tabs. For those of you who have been working in the older versions of Excel and had an acquaintance with dialog box, it is interesting to note that some of the ribbon groups contain a small icon on the right side, known as dialog box launcher. The moment we click on this dialog box launcher, you would see the dialog box appears up. This dialog box has options for commands whose icon are shown up in the groups. Example, the font type, style, size, color that we have already talked of. In addition, it can also have additional options. Example, the effects like strikeout, superscript, subscript in this case. So we can select the desired dialog box launcher from the various groups and use its respective options. Within the ribbon, Excel has provided us 7 standard tabs: Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Data, Review, and View. View is the last standard tab. Excel provides us with the option to customize the ribbon and add more tabs and functionality. Let's say I am a programmer and I need commands for programming. I can go to File, Option, Customize Ribbon. Here I check the developer checkbox and see I get the commands for my use under the new added tab, the developer tab, and this makes my job easier. Just as we inserted the developer tab, we can add more tabs for add-ins and get more functionality like Acrobat Reader, Crosslines, and so on. Here, while we are talking about the tabs, it is very important to note that although the File button shares the space with the tabs, it is not actually a tab. File button performs action with the documents, that is, opening the document, closing the document, saving the document, and so on. But the ribbon tabs help us to perform actions on the objects in the document. One more very interesting feature of the ribbon is the contextual tab. Now, what is a contextual tab? If I have an embedded object on my sheet, say I have a placeholder for my image, when I click on the picture, I get an additional tab, the picture tool. On this tab, I get various icons using which I can format my picture. Similarly, if I select a table, I get a table tab. On this pop-up, I get the various options to modify my table. If I select the chart, the tab chart tool comes, tabs for design, layout, and format. Depending on what modification I want to do onto my chart, I can go to the relevant tab and change my chart easily. So depending on what placeholder I have inserted on the workbook using the insert tab, whenever I insert it or I select it, I will get the corresponding options in the contextual tab so that I can modify my inserted placeholder. With so many options, you must be thinking that ribbon is completely mouse centric, as none of the commands have the traditional underline letter to indicate the Alt keystroke. But in fact, ribbon is very keyboard friendly. The trick is simple. Just press the Alt key, and do you see? You can see the pop-up key tips. And now when I press H, I can actually release the Alt key now and just press the H. I go to the Home tab. Here further you can see the key tips for the various commands. Just select the key tip that you want and your work is done. If you no more want to use these key tips, just click on a cell and the tips will be gone. While working with the ribbon, if you feel it is occupying too much of your screen, just click on the minimize ribbon button. All these set of commands would disappear, and the moment you want to use any of these commands, come back and click on the tab. The options will again show up. In case you want these options to show up, then you can go back and click on the maximize button and you get the commands back. Further acquaintance with the commands on the various tabs of the ribbon will certainly enhance your productivity and efficiency. So keep learning. Thank you.